What is up, guys? We are finally back from CES. I am back in the office. I couldn't be more happier because it's so much easier to shoot here. I have my studio lights and everything like that. Now, we only put out about 5 videos when we were actually at CES, but there's so much more that we covered. So please bear with us this week. We are going to be putting out a lot of CES content, and a lot of our CES content really hasn't been in video form. A lot of it is actually on our website. So if you go to thinkcomputers.org/CES 2020, you can get, all of the information on pretty much everything that we covered right there. Now, one of the highlights, I think, every year of CES is going to the Samsung booth. They have amazing TVs. It's just like the coolest booth to go to at CES. This year, they had an insane gaming monitor. So we're gonna tell you guys a little bit about it. Our CES 2020 coverage is brought to you by Kingston's A2000 entry-level NVMe solid-state drive. With up to 1 terabyte of capacity and 3 times the performance of a traditional SSD at about the same price. At the show, Samsung is launching their Odyssey gaming monitors. So there's the G9, which is the 49-inch, and then you have the G7, which is available in 32 and 27-inch versions. We had the chance to check out the G9, and it is such a huge display. So it's a 49-inch display, as I said, and it has a DQHD resolution, which is 5120 by 1440 with a 32:9 aspect ratio. And this display is different from a lot of other displays because it has a 1000R curve, so it's very curved. The curve on this is really insane. It's made to, be more immersive. That's the whole idea behind the, very large curve, is to be more immersive. It's really great for games, racing games, games where you really want, single player games where you really want to be immersed in your game. Now, this uses Samsung's QLED technology, also with their quantum dot technology as well. So the picture is going to be really crisp and really good. If you have a QLED TV from Samsung, you definitely know what I'm talking about. It also has a 1 ms response time and a 240 hertz refresh rate. So great for fast-paced games and things like that. It uses a HDR 1000 VA panel. And then on the back, it has an infinity core lighting. That's what they're calling it. It actually can be, it's basically RGB lighting on the back. And it has 52 different colors that you can cycle through, as well as 5 different lighting modes. Now, the thing about this display, of course, is the curve. It's actually the world's first 32:9 display with a 1000R curve. And they actually had Overwatch set up on it. We played a little bit of Overwatch, and I don't think it's the best game to really showcase this monitor. Maybe the 240 hertz refresh rate, of course, but for a fast-paced game, I wouldn't want that huge curve just for the fact that I actually will have to turn my head like this to see everything. I think for a racing game or a single player game, it would be absolutely amazing. Another thing that's great about this is, with that screen size, with 49 inches, you could technically play your game at 1440. That's actually what I do on the widescreen. I can't do it. The widescreen that's right there behind me is I play my game at 1440, and then when I have, my Twitch chat or Discord open, I can do it on the 2 sides. So I think that's what's really great about this monitor, is that you can play your game in the center, have Twitch on one side, have Discord on the other, or whatever it may be. Or, if you're playing a single player game, you could still play it in the center and have maybe a walkthrough going on YouTube or something like that. So I think for, really immersive games and racing games, this monitor would be absolutely great. And then, for creators like myself, having that massive timeline within Premiere would be just awesome. Multitasking, 3 windows open at the same time, you could easily do that as well. So I think that is, just a great use for this monitor. I talked about the lighting on the back, but the entire back of the monitor is white, which I think looks awesome. The stand is great as well. No word yet on pricing on this monitor, but it will be out in Q2 2020. One interesting thing that was sort of hiding in plain sight at the Samsung booth was their 980 Pro NVMe solid state drive. We know Samsung for their 900 series of solid state drives, NVMe M.2 drives. They pretty much dominate the market, and when everybody, asks, what M.2 drive you should get, it's always like a 960 EVO or something like that, and they're very well priced, aggressively priced as well. So the 980 Pro is going to be Samsung's first Gen 4 NVMe solid state drive. Everybody who has gone to Ryzen 3000 series, of course, you get Gen 4 speeds, and Samsung has yet to come out with a Gen 4 drive. I think a lot of the big players are sort of waiting for more adoption of Gen 4, but this will be their first Gen 4 drive. They couldn't tell us all that much about it. We assume it's going to be developed completely in-house, much like all of their other drives. They did tell us that it will have a sequential read of 6,500 megabytes a second and a sequential write of 5,000 megabytes a second. So very fast drive there. Now, the one they showed did not have a cooler on it. Most Samsung drives don't. The few Gen 4 drives that we have reviewed definitely needed coolers because they got really hot. So it'll be kind of interesting to see, if Samsung is using their own controller, what the temperatures are going to be and things like that. They had issues with that in the past, but at least what they was showing in the case there at their booth did not have a cooler on it at all. We do know that it also will be available in capacities ranging from 250 gigabytes all the way up to 1 terabyte. Kind of seems weird because kind of want that 2 terabyte drive, especially from Samsung. Should be out, or we should hear a little bit more about it later this year, but that's pretty much all Samsung could tell us. Moving on to portable drives, Samsung has the new T7 Touch, and I've actually used Samsung portable SSDs for a while now. They pretty much complete my workflow when I'm, on the road and things like that. Great, fast little portable drives, and they're super small, so they can even fit in your pocket. The new T7 Touch is no different. It is a very small portable drive. It has an aluminum housing. It uses USB 3.2 Gen 2. So you're gonna get read speeds of 1,050 megabytes a second and write speeds of 1,000 megabytes a second. So again, very fast speeds. If you're dumping 4K content on there and you're loading it up in Premiere, you shouldn't have any lag issues or anything like that. The new thing with this drive, of course, is called the T7 Touch, is that you do have the fingerprint reader on there. So this makes it so much easier to gain access to your data. You just, record your fingerprint, put it back on there, and you're pretty much good to go. Besides that, just like their previous drives, you do get password protection and you get 256-bit AES hardware encryption as well. Just like I said, that's the same thing they had on their previous drive, so it's good to see that continued. And of course, with the fingerprint reader. Now, this drive will be available in both black and silver. The 500 gigabyte drive will be $129.99. The 1 terabyte will be $229.99. And the 2 terabyte will be $399.99. And these will be available a little bit later this month. So that wraps it up for Samsung at CES 2020. Of course, we had the awesome G9 Odyssey gaming monitor. Such a big monitor and great for that really immersive experience. There was the 980 Pro, which will be Samsung's first Gen 4 drive. Really excited to see that get out in the marketplace. And then we had the T7 Touch, which is a great little portable drive. And it's good to see them add even more protection with a fingerprint reader on it. Now go ahead and let us know what your favorite product was, or if you have any questions about these products, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. We'll see you guys in the next video.